Elon Musk has single-handedly collapsed the stock market by selling billions of dollars worth of Tesla just this month alone, which has resulted in a 50% drop here in December for Tesla, thus crashing the NASDAQ. The question is this going to be creating a buying opportunity, or are we seeing much lower prices to come? That's what we're going to look at today. And also, how is this affecting the crypto market, and where is the target from there to the downside? All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Again, not financial advice, just me, Fous, running his mouth about some juicy juice that we are seeing in the markets. And it's interesting to see that, yes, Elon Musk is selling and dumping billions of dollars worth of Tesla. In fact, his latest sale was $3.5 billion. And you can see basically December 2017 all the way up into December of 2022, they have been doing nothing but selling, which, in my opinion, has been a genius move on their part, as they are cashing in on billions of dollars worth of Tesla on this epic run since the 2017 mark of their $40 billion sell-off. And look what they've been doing. They're making billions of dollars. So rightfully so, I would be doing the same exact thing. If you're a founder of a company, why the fuck do you have to sell the company to make any money? Why not sell as the price of the stock has gone up, which is what they're doing. And I think that's a genius thing. Obviously, some people don't like that because Tesla alone is down 50% in the last month, and it's down 72.93% just this year alone. But guess what? What goes up does come down. This is just proof that you need to be logging in gains along the way up, because hodling, again, can get you destroyed in the markets. And if you don't take advantage of these massive epic runs, then I think you're stupid, and you should learn how to lock in gains along the way up, as Elon Musk has been doing, as he's been buying and getting out of Bitcoin as well when it looks like things are about to hit the fan. So if you ask me, it looks like Elon is playing his cards right by getting in and getting out and locking in gains, of which that's also what I teach in my courses, which are also below. So Elon, props to you. But let's just take a look at what's going on in the US stock market, crypto, as well as when is Tesla actually going to be a good buy. Now, if we go back to US 30, again, I am still short. I'm looking to lock in a six-figure trade here. This has been a bit of a frustrating trade, as I'm still short right now. You can see I've been getting short since October 28th or so. I've been getting short US 30, as well as the S&P 500, with me top ticking my last entries near the top of S&P 500, as well as US 30. Currently up about $94,000 on this trade. We only have to drop just a little bit farther for me to lock in my six-figure trade, and then I'll still hold some of these gains to potentially drop all the way down to 3,200 on the ES futures, as well as the US 30 futures down to a new low of about 28K. I'm going to be locking in about six figures in gains if we reach 32K, which is my initial profit target here. As we can see, we are in another bear flag after we finally rolled over Trendex. Now we're forming this bear flag and continually retesting Trendex and just failing to break out to the upside, of which I do believe we're going to break down below this bear flag and reach down to the level of about 32K. If we look at the NASDAQ is coming down into a major support area, which could be a potential buy zone down here, because we are already significantly sold off. But if this support barrier breaks at about 10.6, we are definitely dropping to about 10K to 9,700, which is the next major pivot and support level, which I definitely think we could potentially go. And if we look at the S&P 500, we're also in a similar pattern here, where we're bear flagging, of which I do think we're going to break down to new lows, and my target's here at about 3,700, but we could potentially go down to about 3,583 with a longer term profit target here on the S&P 500 to retest kind of the lower boundary, which would be about 3,200, which would also be around these pivots down here between 3,200 and 3,400 here on S&P. So that's what I'm looking for on the US stock market. If we look at Bitcoin right now, I'm also short, of which we can pull up Bybit. If we look at the current situation here on Bitcoin, you can see we are in this quite a large descending triangle breakdown after we broke down this wedge, and we are now in a potential other wedge pattern here. And if we actually look at this, we're now forming another potential bear flag. If we break down below about 16,150, and as well as this potential trend here at about 16.5, we're looking for a definite push down to about 15.5, which is going to test the lows. From there, no idea what's going to happen. I'll probably be locking in gains if we see this push down to this level here, which will probably push down into about 15,410 or so, retesting these levels here. Probably a bounce before eventually, I think, going to be going down to about 9 to 13K, which is still, down here in this range where I'll be locking in probably the majority of my profits. But I'm definitely probably going to take advantage of an initial push down here if we get down to the low 15s and lock in my gains. You can see I'm currently short about 11 Bitcoin, averaging at 17,232, which is almost about $200,000 worth, and I'm currently up about 7,500 on this trade. So that's currently the situations right now. Brief interruption here, guys. Did you know that 75% of traders have accounts under $25,000? This creates a huge problem because even if you double that account in a year, which is almost impossible, you're still only making $25,000. Introducing Hydra funding, where you can potentially get access up to $500,000 in capital. All you have to do, guys, is sign up for a challenge account, which is going to give you potentially access up to $500,000. And if you earn a 10% profit in this demo account without going into a 5% loss overall or a 4% loss in a day, you will then pass their evaluation phase and, yes, get access to an account with the selected size account. And now, instead of trying to double a $10,000 account, you could potentially earn only 10% on a $100,000 account to earn the same level of profits. And the benefits of this are huge. Rather than risking your entire $10,000 on one account, you can use just $1,000 to potentially get access to $100,000 in capital. You can trade crypto, forex, stocks, CFTs, gold, oil, everything under the sun, all on MT4 and MT5. If you're interested, if you have an account under $25,000, like 75% of traders out there, you're not going to make any money with that account because it's too small. Get access to pro level funding and pro level capital with Hydra funding. Link's going to be below. For me, if we want to look at Tesla, when is Tesla going to be a good buy? Because I actually own some Tesla. I don't even know what I'm in. It was a gift from my mom some time ago. I don't know when she bought it for me. Mom, when did you buy me Tesla? I have no idea, but she gave me like $1,000 worth of Tesla at some point. But I'm still holding it because I don't even have the login info. It's like a TD Ameritrade or E-Trade or something fucking, I don't know where it is. Could it be time to potentially buy the dip on Tesla for an investment or even just a short-term trade? Because we're already down 50% just this month alone in December, which is a massive move. So let's just take a look at the technicals of what the chart is telling us here on Tesla. And if we're looking at the next real big buying opportunity, typically whole numbers are massive areas of psychological support as well as physical support. And the next level here for us on Tesla is right here at $100. And we can see the correlation of the support level and demand zone right between about 110, which is what we are testing right now, as well as the low of about $90 per share. We're definitely looking like we're going to see a short-term bounce in the near term, but we might break down below $100 per share and then drop to about 90, maybe even lower before seeing the final bottom. It's hard to say, which is why you always want to use a range when you're buying into. Say if your range was to buy between 120 and 75, right? You would basically build a grid here with orders, buying in all these ranges down here because you have to prepare for the potential of it dropping below somewhere in this range. You never buy one price when you're buying the dip or shorting the top. You have to select a pretty wide range and be prepared for panics, for blow off tops, for bull traps and bear traps, right? Because that's when people get stopped out and the reversals happen when things go much lower than they expect, which is why you always have to prepare for something like that and not get stopped out and actually be buying when the panic sets in and there is a capitulation event to be able to finally catch the bottom in the bounce. Just like me here on the US 30, I started getting a short here with my range going quite high, a little bit higher than I wanted. I was down about 70K. This was a little bit over leveraged on my part. Just one for the fact that MT4's risk management is a little bit more difficult. So I'm working on a risk manager to actually help with your entries and actually reduce the risk so you can actually calculate your position size. But MT4 and MT5 uses lots, which is a little bit more confusing. So we're working on a solution for that, especially for our Hydra funding traders, which will help them become more profitable and have much less risk when they're actually trading. That's the current situation there. But if we look at the worst case scenario for Tesla, guys, we could be dropping all the way back to the major support here at about $64 per share. If you're potentially buying the dip here in this range between 90 and about 110 where we are now, this is a high probability setup of which we could definitely see a 20 to 70% bounce. If we finally bounce in here and then all of a sudden a short squeeze happens for everyone who has been now buying the dip and also people who are short here start covering their position, we see a massive squeeze of the upside. That's definitely possible, but you also have to be prepared for worst case scenarios, which we could come back down all the way to $65 or $64 per coin to test this major level. So that's what I'm seeing here on Tesla. And on top of that, guys, Tesla is right in this mid-range, but I do still think we have a lot more downside on the S&P 500 as well as the US 30 in general. As I've been looking at this analysis for a while, every pullback that we've seen on the US 30 over the last year and a half has been between 9 to 12 to 13%. And as of right now, on this latest pullback, guys, we're only down about 6.5%. And actually, from the actual flip of the trend index, we're only down about 3.5% on the lows, and currently today, only 2.5%. So I still think we have plenty of potential downside. I don't know how much downside, but at least I'm shooting for 32K, gonna be safe, locking my gains there. But you know, a 9 to 12% pullback from the trend index flip, we're still looking down to about $30,000 on US 30, potential even lower. So you have to be prepared for that situation. Basically, you have to prepare always for the worst case scenario. It's the people who don't prepare for worst case scenarios are the ones that get destroyed and don't last in this market. So that's basically a wrap for today, guys. Tesla is leading the market in the sell-off. It's down 50% this month, basically fueled by Tesla's insiders massive selling basically throughout the entire thing. So you can't blame them. I think it's fucking genius. Lock in your fucking gains, Elon. You fucking earned it. Make billions of dollars and then use that money for other things. Tesla's going to survive. Sorry to the shareholders. They should maybe learn how to take some profits too. That's my theory. Anyways, that's a wrap. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys in the next one.